Everyone knows Mongols as world-crushing barbarians. But what if they celebrated Christmas at the Khan's court? This isn't legend, it's history they never taught you. And it gets way stranger. Winter on the Mongolian steppe, year 1240. Wind cuts like a saber. Horses steam with breath. In massive yurts lit by oil lamps, texts about the birth of Jesus Christ are being read aloud. We're in the heart of an empire that trampled Baghdad, slaughtered millions, and held China in check. And right in the middle of it all, a Christian mass. Even historians would panic. They're used to chaos, not this. The official story from textbooks: Mongols, conquerors from the east who burned cities, killed emperors, and left nothing standing. Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, hordes on horseback. Then we quickly skip to the Renaissance. That's the convenient version. History books glorify European crusades as holy wars, but call Mongol tolerance barbarian pragmatism. But what happened in their yurts at Christmas, that's the version they never show you. And right here enters the most powerful woman in Mongol history, one you've probably never heard of. Her name was Sorghaghtani Beki, widow of Genghis Khan's son, mother of 4 Khans, including Kublai Khan, who became emperor of China. She was a Nestorian Christian, that eastern branch of Christianity that didn't go to Rome, but traveled the Silk Road all the way to Beijing. Her yurt, a mobile Christian and political headquarters. Inside, icons of Christ. Outside, armies breaking Persia. While her sons commanded hordes that sacked cities from Kiev to Damascus, inside her tent, Nestorian priests chanted ancient Syriac hymns about the Prince of Peace. This wasn't tolerance, it was control disguised as openness. She weaponized her faith, converting sons not through sermons, but through power. Each of her 4 boys became Khan of a massive territory, and each respected her Christian rituals. Europe bled in crusades over one Bible phrase. Mongols profited from weaponized faith, but the craziest part is what happened at their Christmas banquets. At the court of the great Khan in Karakorum, the Mongol Vatican, scenes unfold you'd expect in a Byzantine cathedral, not steppe tents. Nestorian priests celebrate liturgy mentioning Christ's birth. They chant in a language only scholars understand, but the symbol, birth of God's Son, is crystal clear. The Khan himself isn't officially Christian, but he sits, listens, receives blessing. Why? Because his mother was Christian, and family power took the form of religious ritual. Imagine the scene. Fur-clad warriors with swords at their belts, kneeling before a wooden cross carried thousands of miles from Mesopotamia. They share kumis, fermented mare's milk, as a toast to the newborn king. Outside, the temperature drops to -40. Wolves howl, but inside, there's talk of Bethlehem's star. Some call it Christmas. Others call it political theater with crosses, faith as a tool for empire building. It's a bizarre mix. Inside the yurt, talk of peace and a gentle savior. Outside, armies that will crush another city in months. For some historians, these aren't Christmas as we know it. For others, it's proof that the greatest war machine in history had a Christian core. These weren't secret conversions either. European diplomats like William of Rubruck witnessed it firsthand. Khans hosting Christian services while plotting their next conquest. While popes excommunicated kings, Khans blessed every faith that paid tribute. Wind howls outside, snow buries the steppe, oil lamps flicker inside. The Nestorian priest lifts the chalice, reads of Christ's birth. Before him sit men deciding the fate of China, Persia, and Russia. This is when Christmas and the Silk Road meet under one roof. If Instagram existed in the 13th century, this would have been the most mind-blowing Christmas post of the year. But this story doesn't end with one mass in a tent. Thanks to this religious openness, missionaries, merchants, and scholars traveled safely across the empire. Sermons in one city, spice trade in another, Persian math in the third. Eastern Christians penetrate China, Muslims reach Central Asia, Buddhists enter Mongolia. Everyone uses the same roads controlled by the Khan. The Mongol Empire became medieval religious globalization's greatest experiment. Think about it.
Marco Polo walked these safe roads because Khans guaranteed passage regardless of faith. Nestorian churches sprouted from Samarkand to Hangzhou. Persian astronomers taught Mongols about eclipses, while Christian scribes copied Gospels. Though we associate them mainly with the sword, their real weapon was infrastructure.
Even the Black Death spread faster because of these peaceful religious trade corridors. When you wonder today how you find ancient crosses in China, Mongol traces in Iraq, and Tatar stories in India, it's partly due to this strange mix of faith and power. History isn't good versus evil. It's chaos of people mixing faith and power to survive. Mongols weren't just Eastern pagans. They were pragmatic globalizers who knew religion is a tool, not an obstacle. Europe romanticizes its holy wars. Mongols built an empire on calculated faith. But what do you think? Was this Mongol tolerance just cynical politics or a genuine form of respect? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for the next Silk Road saga.